What's up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. It's the end of the month. We are here, and I gotta be honest, there has been a ton of info to come out this June, and it is some good stuff. I am super excited, but before we get into it, let me introduce you to my guest, my panelist, my co-host, G73. What's up, my brother?
Nothing much. It is that time of the month again where we sit around and talk about all that is Godzilla.
That is right, and there has been a ton of good stuff coming out, and I kind of don't know where to start. There's two big pieces of news that came out, and I'm like, which one goes first? So let's just get into it. Let's start off top of the show with the Netflix animated Godzilla finally getting an official look at the thing, at Godzilla itself. They put out an image with on the official website with the date, which was I think 11/17 of this year on Netflix, and Godzilla looked like legendary Godzilla. So right off the bat, I am super excited and super happy because, I mean, we're not here. I'm not here saying that is going to be legendary Godzilla, but it looks like legendary Godzilla. It is of that vein, and I fucking loved it. And yes, it's not like an official still from the film, but if that's the gist of it, if that's where they're going with it, I'm totally on board with it. I'm super excited about it. G73, brother, what say you?
When I saw this, actually the lovely Final Goji was the one who actually sent it to me. And when she sent it to me through Messenger, I was like, all right, time to go to work. And I was looking at it all on Twitter and everything like that. And I was glad it was not a Shin Godzilla clone kind of upgraded thing. I was excited that... I was excited they used the design. It's not like 100% accurate of 2014, but it's close. It's maybe 80% of what the design is. And the reason why I think it's kind of a good idea they do that is because when you have a 2014 sequel coming out, you have this Godzilla design that's going to be frequent, at least for another movie after that. And if you have this, I just feel like Toho's marketing for it is kind of like, this is what we need to promote right now. And I think that's kind of smart that they do that, because that Godzilla design is going to be kind of stuck with people, and I think it's going to add more hype for the legendary films. The one thing, though, that kind of interested me was that they were saying that this Godzilla evolves further into the throughout the trilogy. So I don't know if that means we'll be seeing design changes throughout the trilogy. But as of right now, this is the basic of what Godzilla will look like, and also he is going to be the biggest Godzilla incarnation yet, according to Toho again. And then 2014 sequel will come out, and then they'll make another Godzilla, which will be bigger than the last. And soon we'll have Godzilla's head reaching space, and he'll be shooting moons. So
that's guaranteed. That's how this trilogy is going to end. It's going to evolve into shit Godzilla. Oh no. No, I doubt. I did not know that there was going to be an evolution of Godzilla within the trilogy. That's cool, but going back to what you said, you make a really good point. Like early on, you said Toho keeping this design to get excited for Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is going to be our next topic. We'll talk about that in a bit. And being that this is a trilogy, I mean, let me ask you if you know this, because I don't. Do you know if this is going to be every year we're going to get the next installment drop for the next 3 years, or is there no timetable yet?
I would think that if Toho's wanting to make this a trilogy, that they've already had that on the template, they're not going to like, all right, fork this one over and then wait a few years to make the other one. I think that's kind of silly and it's going to lose momentum. So I would hope realistically that they would make this one, put it out, and then get right to work on the next one and bring it out next November. So I hope that's the case, but as of right now, nothing is like confirmed with what's going on. So
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. All right. Because that's something I wanted to know. Because let's say, if you're going to want to keep that Godzilla flavor for Legendary, right? I would not change it if it's going to evolve. I would not overdo it. Now, let me ask you, remember a couple of months ago when, it was a couple of months ago, when that one image came out and everybody thought it was legit Godzilla in the anime?
yeah, yeah.
Not for nothing, that kind of had a G14 flavor to it. I wouldn't mind seeing, if there wasn't an evolution, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. Like, at the end, I think that was a great design. I loved it, actually. What do you think, man? Would you be open to something like that? Or you think, how drastic do you think Toho will go as far as evolving this anime?
See, this is the thing. We're talking Toho here, and with them making Shin Godzilla, we could see Godzilla sprout two heads for all we know. I don't see, the thing is, I'm just one of those type of people that I have problems with design changes. If I'm watching a Godzilla movie and it says like, so, and it's like a consistent franchise, unless Godzilla has an evolution mutation that makes sense in the film, that connects with the story, I'm going to be okay with it. But if it's just a design change every other import to the trilogy, it's just going to kind of bother me, because then I feel like I'm watching a new type of Godzilla story every time, because I identify this as a new Godzilla character.
Right.
And that's kind of the problem. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I had the problem, because Godzilla has always constantly changed with design. But I just think, for one, we don't even know if his design will change. He may just have evolution stages where minor details come in, like his spikes turn different, shapes, or I would think if he grows way bigger than he's going to be, that's just going to be kind of silly. So I don't know, but see that it's so hard to tell with what Toho's wanting to do, because to think if this design's going to be basic and Godzilla starts out looking like 2014 or a close 2014 incarnation, and then gradually starts mutating into like a Shin Godzilla deal, that's just going to be kind of like, it's going to be a little bit weird. So, worst case scenario, that's what happens, but I'm hoping it's just like, I kind of feel like this way in the sense, let's go back to the roots. Just give Godzilla powers as he evolves. Don't, traditional powers. No, nothing too overdone like the Shin Godzilla powerhouse light bulb deal. Just give us his traditional, gain abilities as he evolves. Like the Godzilla video game that came out. You gained abilities as you went. Let's give him back the atomic pulse. Let's get him back, like health regeneration, stuff like that. Let's not do this, like sharp turn alien-esque abilities, because, I don't know, I just don't think Godzilla needs to do that. So I just hope they don't do something like that, and with all my hopes and fears I have. I just don't want to see Godzilla start out good and then turn into Shin Godzilla. If you're going to do anything with Shin Godzilla, let's keep it in the Shin Godzilla folder. Let's not mix it. So
you hear that, Toho?
We'll see, I guess.
You hear that, Toho? No Hanna-Barbera I-beams. Leave it out. Godzilla does not need I-beams. Now, yeah, I agree with you. I figured if anything, an evolution it would come with through powers. If they want to change the look, I don't see them going drastic. But like you said, that is definitely a worst case scenario. I would freak out if they literally evolve them in every movie. It's like even more grotesque or whatever. But I doubt they're gonna go that route. That image that's a powerhouse Godzilla as it is. It looks massive. It's supposed to be the biggest one, and like you said in a previous podcast, Super Mecha Godzilla City or Mecha Godzilla City. Yes, please, more of that. Thank you. That's just insane still to me. It's still mind-boggling.
And the thing is, what's going to be interesting is imagine if they have like a Mecha Godzilla type thing in this movie. How's it going to match the design of this Godzilla? I'm just thinking about that, like a whole new Mecha Godzilla design. I'm just looking forward to that. Because I always loved the Mecha Godzilla designs going forward, because they've always changed to look really cool. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm interested to see that.
Well, we shall see that come November when it drops. I hope it drops worldwide on Netflix. I hope it just doesn't like come out in November.
No, that's what they're saying. It's going to be worldwide, but it's going to be a little bit after the release in Japan, though.
Okay, I'll take it. Listen,
it's actually already on Netflix right now. If you look it up, waiting to be seen.
Yeah,
so
I've seen that. Like I think that King Kong cartoon that everybody thought was going to be something, and it turned out to be for children. They had that up too. I was like, whoa, it's up. But then it was like coming in June or whatever month it was coming out. So I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, all right, that's cool. I mean, listen, as long as it's not like they get it and then we got to wait a month or two. If it's like a relatively short amount of time, I'm cool with that. But I'm looking forward to it. That's November. More and more stuff are going to come out as the months go by. And we're going to be all over it, covering it right here at the Godzilla Block Party.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be taking the day off work. I ain't going to work that day. And I got a free subscription to Netflix waiting for me, too, on my TV. So I'm going to definitely utilize that.
You're ready to rock. Speaking of rocking, let's get into the second big news of the month. This was very good. This was good news. We finally got Godzilla 2 starting production and a plot synopsis. I mean, we kind of got a gist. We thought we knew what was coming and stuff. We knew that there was going to be Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. We knew that going in. But as far as details, we didn't know. Last week, we got the details. This is straight from Warner Brothers Legendary. Let me read what it says here. It says, Godzilla 2 follows the heroic efforts of the cryptozoological agency Monarch. We all know who those are. As its members face off against a battery of god-sized monsters, including the mighty Godzilla, who collides with Mothra, Rodan, and his ultimate nemesis, the three-headed King Ghidorah. I love that. When these ancient superspecies, I love that too, thought to be mere myths, rise again, they all vie for supremacy, leaving humanity's very existence hanging in the balance. The age of monsters is upon us, G73. How excited are you when you read, like, what the, I'm losing my mind, dude. I mean, like, we get animated Godzilla look, and then this, and I'm just like, boom, headshot.
I was so excited that when I first started doing all of this, when I did Megalon and everything, I was on Twitter and all these forums that I go on and websites that I go on, and I just look up everything, and it's like I'm trying to not do that right now because it's so early, and it like mentally drained me for 2014.
Yeah,
because I was so excited. So I'm like trying to wait at least, because we still got 2 years, and because we have 2 years, it's like you guys shouldn't have said anything. And it's like the thing is, it's like we're all hoping we get something at Comic-Con this year, but it's like it's such a slim chance we will. And I'm just holding on to, like, clenching my fist here. I'm like, I really hope we see at least just, like, you can give us a teaser trailer at least. You know, I'm sure they got something cooked up they could do. You know, but I'm excited, man. This sounds like the step up from 2014. I mean, I guess not to us because you and I both loved that movie,
Right.
but in the sense of more monster action, this sounds like a big step up, and I'm excited, you know, because it's gonna come in a blink of an eye now. I remember when we were waiting 2 years for Kong Skull Island, and now it's passed, and it's like, wow, you know. So I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to it, and just the plot of it. It sounds like a fun time at the movies. I mean, I'm really interested that this is going to kind of revolve around Monarch a little bit. Like, we get to learn more about it. And the one question I keep asking myself is, what's Kong going to be doing at this? Now, a lot of this is just kind of off wing, but a lot of people are saying Kong will probably just be an end credit deal. But some person brought up the attention that Kong may appear in one part of the film. But I mean, that's just all speculation for now. But I just thought, you know, that would be kind of interesting. You know, you never know. I mean, they could do anything. You know, they could bring Kong in at one moment in the movie. You know, you never know at this point. But I'm excited. I just like, you know, kind of with the monsters being mentioned in that synopsis. It was kind of cool because it kind of sounded like I wonder, like, what happens to awaken these monsters? Like what happens? Like, what brings them that, like, up to the surface? And then Godzilla just was like, ah, shit, not this again. And he's like, ah. And then like when King Ghidorah comes up, I'm just going to picture, gosh. I mess up his name all the time, and I hate that I do that. We're just going to call him Hank Marlowe in Kong Skull Island. I just can't wait for him to be like, oh, that's the big one when King Ghidorah comes back.
Oh.
I'm excited, man. This sounds like a monster clash, and that's exactly what I want with a Godzilla movie. And I want them, if there's anything from it, I want them to show Godzilla getting down to his viciousness. I want to see the worst that he can do. And so I'm looking forward to it. And when that movie comes out in March 22nd of 2019, I'm going to have my bucket of popcorn that I never eat because I hate eating popcorn. I'm going to sit with my gallon-sized soda mug, and I'm going to get fat watching something I love.
That's how I look at it. I'm the same way. I'll get the popcorn. I won't eat it, but I'm going to drink the shit out of that soda. Man, no, I agree, dude. There's so much, and you touched on a lot of bases there, man. The speculation, it's going to be hard not to speculate on anything right now, especially for us as G fans. The synopsis is beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely telling you Godzilla who collides with Mothra Rodan and his ultimate nemesis. That right there drives me crazy. I'm like, holy crap. Because that leads me to believe King Ghidorah is not getting killed in this movie whatsoever. King Ghidorah will be the bad. He's the big bad. And in Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong, yes, they're going to fight, but they're going to team up. It's going to be a better outcome than BVS. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's fight.
It's going to be the BVS we wish we got.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's fight. Oh, shit, there's Doomsday. Let's kick its ass. It's because King Ghidorah is, like, for me personally, I've always looked at him as the, like, end all of the kaiju. You know, he's the three-headed monster. That's it. Like, just this god of destruction.
Yes, taking Destroya out of the equation, King Ghidorah to me is the devil.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Destroya is one of his, like, we're going to podcast this one day. We're going to discuss Godzilla's toughest and strongest opponents. I want to definitely have a roundtable discussion about that later on, but Destroya is too new to the series, even though it's 20 years old. It's still rather new to the series.
He's the Kylo Ren
Pretty much.
Of the kaiju.
You got to think about it. Ghidorah's been around for ages. Our parents knew who Ghidorah was. Grandparents probably knew who Ghidorah was. And it's just a generational thing. And the fact that he's been in so many more movies. Destroyer had one movie. It was a great outing. But to me, when they say Ultimate Nemesis and King Ghidorah's name in the same sense, I can't argue with that. I won't argue with that because that's how I feel. I believe it. And to see this now brought to life in America for the first time, like America's getting their hands on something else that's not Godzilla, but within the franchise. I'm excited as shit because, like you said, I have zero problems with G14. I understand the hate it gets. I guess the only problem I have is them, killing Bryan Cranston off. I don't think that was necessary. I really like that character, but that is nothing compared to the way I enjoyed that movie. And I understand, like I said, people's gripes about it and screen times and all that shit. You could keep all those shit that way. I don't care about none of that. I enjoyed it for what it was. We're getting 4 monsters on the screen, possibly 5 if you want to add Kong in the mix. Maybe we see a Muto or something, because we can't just exclude the Mutos. Yes, they could be now kind of like a mega. What was a mega? What's Megaguirus's larva name? Megalulon, right? I can't even say that shit. Maybe they're like that now. They're just like these little guys. I don't know. I don't even care. But like you said, I like that this is going to be kind of Monarch based. It's there. It's out in the open. People know these things exist now. With Kong, they had the luxury of it just being stuck on this island, and nobody knows. That's a classified Black Ops operation. Black Ops operation, the same fucking thing. But now that G14 happened, it's out in the open, and for them to all start popping up now, like you said, what's the catalyst for this? That's a great fucking question. That right there is the question I want to see answered in Godzilla 2, and I don't believe we're going to get shafted when it comes to an answer, unlike Transformers Stupid Last Night, where you get no answers and stupidity. I'm sorry. I threw that in there real quick. There's a fucking dragon and Dinobots. The Dinobots are in it for 5 minutes too. I'm jumping off. You see that review later on, guys. If you want to listen to me ramble about the shit fest that was Transformers the last night, I will have a review up. You could also check out, and I'm plugging here, you could also check out the Geek Out tomorrow. It'll be up. I will be spewing hate on it there also. But this is about Godzilla. I'm sorry. Jumping off. That is a great question to ask. Why are these monsters coming now? We knew why Godzilla came out, because he was trying to balance. But why now Rodan? Why now Mothra? These aren't throwaway characters in the sense.
And why Godzilla again? Like, why does he come back out?
The balance. That's one of the things I love about.
But do you think they're going to really go with that again, or like, do you think?
Yeah, because
do you think something else is going to be a little bit more to the point?
Well, no, because just going by the synopsis, Godzilla who collides with Mothra Rodan and his ultimate nemesis King Ghidorah. They're gonna fight.
What if these monsters come up because something Godzilla does?
So you're trying to say they're like guardian monsters?
Well, let's not go to GMK here.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Godzilla's the guardian monster.
That's what it sounds like.
But what I'm saying is, let's say Godzilla breaks some sort of Earth-like Lego, if you will, and it pisses off a deity, and Mothra just shoots out of the trees, and it starts.
So I see what you're saying. I personally can't see that way because of. I don't see this Godzilla being a vicious creature. I don't see this Godzilla being a monster.
And I don't mean like something like out of evil intentions, but I mean like, let's just say because Godzilla's big, he's clumsy, he's old, he's drunk. Let's just say he just steps on something he's not supposed to, and out of his thing, it pisses off a monster, and it's just a nonstop slapping match. I mean, just something. Like, I'm just saying, like, what if it's not just Godzilla's just going to be like, oh, these monsters are here again, it's my turn. I mean, on the other hand, it would be cool again if Serizawa is like, he is the answer. Again, I would like to hear him say that again.
Yeah.
But I just think that's going to be kind of the same premise as 2014, though.
But again, and that's why it comes with why are these monsters popping up. That's a great question, because Godzilla was basically a guardian monster in G14. The Mutos were causing havoc.
Or maybe these monsters emerge and then they gotta wake Godzilla up or something like that. But that's kind of sea monster-ish. But
that is kind of sea monstrous. Yeah, and that's just it, because if you think about it, Godzilla has pretty much been low-key since 54. They don't really go into any detail afterwards up until this movie happens. And the only reason why he came up is because the Mutos came up. So he sensed the Mutos, I got to go and take care of some business. See, I don't have any issue if that was the case here. Because even though it's kind of a rehash of what's going on, it's going to be done differently, you know? He's fighting, because if you think about Godzilla movies in general, that's pretty much what happens. Especially in the Showa series. And that's why I like G14, because it really had that Showa flavor where Godzilla was a hero. He didn't come up to start fucking shit up, or, you know, he stayed wherever he was until shit popped off.
If they want to stay true to their Showa, I guess, what's the word? The Showa preachment, like they want to do to honor the Showa, they will keep Godzilla the way related to Showa, pretty much, if that makes sense.
That's how I think it's gonna be. Honestly, I don't see this guy again after G14. This Godzilla's established. I don't see any type of direction change as far as Godzilla goes.
Oh, I don't either.
You know,
I don't either.
I don't see him being that force of nature he was in the Heisei series. You know, I don't see that. He's like Gamera. He's like a protector of Earth or some shit, you know? He's the balance. That always stuck with me in G14.
Planet. This is his home.
Pretty much, yeah, you know, pretty much. He's
bitch better get out of his yard.
Telling that shit to Mothra and Rodan, like, what the fuck y'all doing here? Flying motherfuckers.
You know what, Ray? Ray, when Godzilla 2 comes out, that's one of the things. I want to go see it with you. I'm going to get me a ticket, or I'm going to just drive down to Vegas, and we're going to see it.
Sounds like a fucking plan.
I want to do that.
Sounds like a plan. I'm down. It's going to be a huge fucking movie. I'm telling you right now. It's pretty much right now. Just the synopsis alone, it has me excited, like ridiculously excited. The cast they're putting together is strong.
It should have every Godzilla fan excited. And if you're not excited, what's wrong with you?
I know, and you know more than I do, because you do the Twitter thing and I don't. But Doherty also said, somebody asked the question, will there be more Godzilla? And his response was,
absolutely, much, much, much more.
So I mean, for the people who
his words,
for the people who hated G14 because of the lack of Godzilla. Because I know there's other people who hate it just because they didn't like characters or story, whatever.
I hated Shin Godzilla for the lack of Godzilla.
So did I. I'm still waiting to see Godzilla in that damn movie. I heard him, but I don't know where he was. But anyway, I'm not trying to shit on shit, G. You know that. Any chance I get, I will.
This is legendary Godzilla we're talking about here.
Right. So, you know, just hearing that, for those who didn't like G14 because of the lack of Godzilla, man, they should be just super amped right now. And again, you getting 3 more monsters added to the mix. Classic monsters. Not just any classic monsters. And that is going to jump into my next segment. And that, you had mentioned Comic-Con, and I believe we're not going to see a teaser trailer. It's way too early for that. Right now, they're going to film, and then they'll probably go and start doing all the animation for it. But they absolutely have what they want as far as look-wise go, I believe. So what I'm hoping for at Comic-Con is a small presence, but what we get is concept art of all these monsters.
I think we may, if anything, to go a little bit over the extreme, I can see this, and this is about what I was going to say. Just imagine you're sitting there at Comic-Con and Legendary's panel comes in and they say, we got a little Godzilla 2 surprise for you. And we don't see any pictures, but we just see, like environment backgrounds, and we just hear what the monsters will sound like. We hear Rodan, we hear Mothra, we hear King Ghidorah. That would be enough to get me like, oh my god! I would be like turning into a puddle of melted icy. I say that because I work at a theater and I serve ices way too much.
Nice.
So,
melted ices, that's great, dude. I love it.
dude, that me right there. I'd be like, oh my god.
Dude, you say that, I got goosebumps.
On the Legendary's van, and I'd be like, all right, take me to your leader. I'm going to give him money, and I'm going to see this movie now, even though it's not finished.
that gave me goosebumps. That's something I could totally back. I'm so behind that one. I like that idea a lot. I'm cool with that. Because that's one of the things, too, not for nothing. G-fans, we make a big deal out of that. We really fucking do. We want to hear what these monsters sound. I mean, when Shinji was coming out, what's he going to sound like? What's he going to sound like? What's he going to sound like? That was a big thing for whatever reason, but it is a big thing, you know? Like,
and then Toho screwed us with that little anime they came out with totally everything of that Godzilla. And everyone was cried. Everyone cried. The world was not the same.
I'm so with you on a Legendary panel. I mean, I do, don't get me wrong, man. I really want to see concept art. But if they do a little teaser like that, think about it. They kind of did something like that with G14, I think in 2013
they
maybe,
did.
Or 2012.
And that's the thing is, like, I'm just wondering, like, how come we haven't been able to see that yet? I'm like, what's the big deal of keeping that secret?
Well, I know. You talking about the 2015 Comic-Con when they announced that these monsters were going to be in the movie?
Yeah.
I'm talking about...
Well, no, okay, you're talking about the 2014 little teaser video they did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I thought we were talking about something else here. I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah.
That was... Yes, that would be something cool to see. Just silhouettes of the monster. Dude, you know, it would be really sick if they did exactly the same thing to make it funny. And it's just different shots of the monsters doing just like the same exact thing.
Seriously.
Just silhouettes. I think that would be hilarious, but also be cool at the same time.
I'm totally down for that. I really because that one was good. You seen that the creature's legs in on the floor, like some random creature that never made the movie. It was just a proof of concept almost. And then there's Godzilla coming around and hitting that roar, and bam, it was mighty. And you're like, yes, absolutely.
The thing is, though, is like I kind of wish that monster was in Godzilla 2014, like a centipede style monster. If they do Mothra larvae in the sequel, it's going to be kind of too close to that, but. I don't know. I think that would be kind of interesting to see.
Well,
I'm excited. I'm just, gosh.
I know. I'm there. Trust me, I'm there.
Words can't describe.
And I'm sure all the G fans right now listening to this is feeling the same way. There's an excitement in the air now that we've got this. Now that this news drops, it's like, okay. They're starting to film now. What comes next? And Comic-Con is a big thing, and that's in a couple of weeks. And yeah, I would really be surprised if Legendary didn't have anything, because they're really good they're good to the fans, and not just us as G fans. They're good to the fans in general, like Warcraft, like shit. People like Legendary is like that geek out company, you know. They were like, look. We're gonna do it for you. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna show you something. We ain't got a lot of shit, but we got something to show you. That was their Godzilla 2 thing in 2015 that fucked people's heads up there. So I think I would really be hard pressed if they didn't have anything, promotional art, or like you said, just like a concept of the roars. Even if they've gotten that far, because I don't even know if they've gotten that far. unless they're gonna do some variations.
The thing is I remember last year the guys at Legendary said you will see them at the 2017 Comic-Con. But the thing is, so many things have changed. You know, you just don't. I don't know. I mean, I would expect them to be there, but I'm not going to be shocked if they're not at the same time.
I hear you. Well,
but the thing is, Legendary will be there because they have to start promoting the next year's. We got Pacific Rim 2. Okay?
That's true.
And the thing is, we have all forgotten about Pacific Rim 2 in the past couple of weeks.
This is all Godzilla's fault.
It was so weird because we had all this Pacific Rim 2 stuff coming out, and then I was thinking about it last night. I was like, "Where's Pacific Rim 2?" And then I'm like, "Oh snap! Not only do we have Jurassic World 2 coming out next year, we also have Pacific Rim 2. And we got to get something for at least one of those movies at Comic-Con.
I think we're going to get something for both of those movies. I mean, isn't Legendary also...
Legendary films
they
too,
are,
so.
yeah. I had completely forgotten that Legendary does a co-production with Jurassic Park. So, yeah, no, I honestly believe we're seeing something because we've got the poster image. That dropped this week for... Jurassic World 2.
Jurassic World 2.
What's it called again? Forgotten Kingdom?
The Fallen Kingdom.
The Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, I like it. I can't lie. Giant dinosaurs kind of fits.
Just falling down.
It's
exactly what I think.
Oh, get out of here. But I think...
Hey, well, I mean, they did film in London, so...
Well,
kind of did.
I think we'll get something there. Nothing crazy, but definitely something. Maybe a teaser for Jurassic World 2.
I don't want anything like crazy. I don't expect like a full-on trailer. I just want something to add hype because a little bit of hype is going to keep me going for a year.
Yeah, no, they're not going to full-on trailer. No, the full-on trailers you'll see is more for the superhero movies. But Pacific Rim 2, when does that come out?
That comes out in like February or something like that.
We might see something
get a trailer. We have to get something big for Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah, Pacific Rim 2 is going to make a splash at Comic-Con, legit. And then I think after they promote those two things, or maybe even before, because I honestly, it depends. And I'm not an exec in a boardroom right now saying, okay, how should we open our little panel here? Save Godzilla for last to tease it, or show a little something first because we don't have much going, yet we have Jurassic World.
The thing is, either way, no matter what you do, people will be focusing on the Godzilla stuff more than the first two. So it might be smart if they don't show anything.
Nah, they're going to show. Pacific Rim 2, absolutely. I can't believe that. You're right. It fucking falls right off the radar. You stop thinking about it when Godzilla starts, kicking shit around. And I love Pacific Rim 1. It's just a fun, crazy monster movie with giant robots. It's a kooky movie, and I love kooky movies. Unless it's Transformers The Last Night, that piece of shit fucking movie. I'm sorry. See? Giant robots fuck my head up, man. Oh, but as far as the concept art that I think we might see, let me ask you, because we spoke about this before. You told me that they were talking about switching up Godzilla's look for this one. I mean, if that is true, how different do you think Godzilla's gonna look? They can't drastically alter,
No, they can't.
The appearance,
they can't,
right?
and they can't do that because, for one, when you do these design changes, you have to run them by Toho, and it costs money because they got to put copyrights on it. They got to do this, and it's just what's the fucking point of spending another $10,000 to change Godzilla's design just for put him in a sequel when you've already had this design in the first one that's already trademarked? It's just a waste of time, waste of money. The only thing that they could do without needing it to be run by Toho is just minor little details. Right. And that will be the smart decision. If they do by somehow change Godzilla's design to where it's a complete drastic thing where he looks like G98, it's just going to be kind of like, well, you got a whole fucking new movie here. And to be honest, I might not get excited for it if it's a complete different Godzilla design. I mean, I'll get excited in the sense it's a Godzilla movie, but in this point, if it's completely changed, it's no longer a 2014 sequel. And so I just don't see that happening. I don't. You can't. This Godzilla's already too iconic. It's already used so and the thing is, with Kong Skull Island having that post-credit scene,
right?
They already hinted at what the monsters will look like. You can't just change that like that with a snap of a finger. So drastically, it's unrecognizable. So just no, I just don't think it will be drastically changed.
Gotcha. But
even though Mike Doherty said yes, he will change, like the design will be changed, but like he didn't say like the design will be changed drastically. He just said yes, there will be changes, but I just don't see it being like something completely different from what we've gotten.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they have total liberty right now to do what they want with Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra because we haven't seen them in this universe yet. We know what they look like. We've got an outline on some cave photos, but there's no detail in that. And the Godzilla thing on the cave painting is the silhouette of G14. So, yeah, as far as changes goes, I don't see nothing drastic either.
Like if they do anything, they might make him a little bit slimmer, like everyone's bitching about. They might make him bigger.
Almost spit my soda out.
But they'll add like battle wounds to him, like they should do. I mean, I love that when Rexy from Jurassic World had the scars on her. I love that. I thought that was freaking cool. So I just want minor details. You're telling a story here. Make it consistent. Let's not have it completely changed to something completely different.
I totally agree. Like you can't, for instance, you can't kill off something in the first part of a franchise, right? You can't kill off something in the first movie and then bring it back in the fifth movie with no explanation. Barricade. You stupid Transformer. I'm sorry, I went off the rails again. It's just terrible movie. Terrible. Let me ask you one last question before we wrap this sumbitch up. Have you noticed, and you're on Twitter a lot, so you would probably be more in the know than I am. Because this actually just kind of like slipped right by me. Like I didn't even notice it until somebody pointed it out, and I was like, holy shit, okay. But when they announced this, when they were like, okay, Michael Dougherty's coming on to direct this, then we're going back a couple months now, and they were like, and the movie's called Godzilla King of Monsters, and then he was like, no, it's called Godzilla King of the Monsters. But yet when this press release came out, there was no mention of that at all. It was just Godzilla 2. Now I'm asking you, because I honestly don't know, have you seen anything in the Twitter sphere that made mention about that, or is that just something that's like, oh no, it's just easier to say Godzilla 2?
We had this asshole the other day came out and said Godzilla King of the Monsters is not even the title of the Godzilla sequel. And the thing is like nothing has been mentioned, like Mike Dougherty or no one else has like said anything about it. As far as I'm concerned, it's still called Godzilla 2, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Because nothing has been said. Legendary hasn't said anything. Mike Dougherty hasn't said anything. I mean, on the other hand, Mike Dougherty is posting photos and snippets of them filming almost every day so far.
Okay.
But it was just one guy that came out and said, it's not even called Godzilla King of the Monsters. We don't even have a set title for it yet. I don't know the guy. I don't know his relation with the film industry. I don't know the type of person he is. All I saw was it was just getting backlash on the internet. I don't know. At this point, it's just kind of like one of those things. Like maybe not. Maybe not. I think that was kind of. I'm kind of pissed off. Someone came out and said that because it's like we just had filming start today, and it was such great news. And then it was just like the bearer of bad news had to come, and he'd be like, "Oh, this isn't the title anymore." And I'm just like, really? it was kind of like, it's kind of like, who the fuck cares? You know, you could have, I would have been just happy with a few years down the line, or like right when the movie is about to come out, maybe, you know, maybe in June of next year, they say, all right, Godzilla's going to be, this is the actual title for the Godzilla movie. I don't know, oh, okay, so they changed it to that, blah, blah, blah. Not too much bad. But when it's a guy that, it just felt like he just pushed this out there just to piss people off. So I don't know, that's my thing. I'm like,
I hear it in your voice.
Dude, I just, I have that effect, don't I? I just think it's dumb, you know.
All right, so but there was no confirmation or nothing like that, none.
Yeah, no confirmation. Mike Doherty hasn't said anything. Adam Wingard hasn't said anything. You know,
all right.
I don't expect Adam Wingard to say anything like that. He's doing Godzilla versus Kong.
Right.
You know, but you know, on the other hand, though, something I do want to mention is that Jordan Vogt-Roberts and Gareth Edwards have been vacationing with each other. So Jordan Vogt-Roberts said nothing's going on monster-wise, but I don't know. For some reason, with them two being in the same room together, and he said, we're at Kong, we're on Skull Island here. I'm just kind of like, what's going on here? Something's kind of fishy, but I'm not thinking too far into it because I may be just jumping the gun.
You think maybe they're planning a little Kong Skull Island 2 right now? You think maybe that's what they're doing?
I think so.
Because if Adam Wingard, and yeah, you know what? I'm completely stupid. That was a thing that happened this past month. Adam Wingard was announced as Godzilla vs. Kong director, and I forgot to put that as a show note thing, so I apologize for that. But yeah, that's a big thing too.
The thing is Legendary hasn't said they want to stop the Godzilla movies after Godzilla vs. Kong.
Right.
This is a universe. This isn't just like they said a monster verse trilogy, but really, if this movie, let's say Godzilla 2 makes a good 100 million, and then Godzilla vs. Kong makes another good 100 some odd million, or, you know, do you really think they're going to stop if the movies keep making money? I mean, they got to at least do something. You know, who knows? I just think that under the circumstances, it's just kind of like, it's not, I don't know. It's just kind of too coincidental, you know, for them both to be like, hey, both the Kong director and the first Godzilla director joining each other on vacation. You know, and like I said, Jordan Vogt-Roberts, he said, no monsters involved, ... But hey, it's just like, yeah, you're saying that, but, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that's not true, you know? You know, at this point, anything's possible. And the fact that they were in Vietnam, where Kong Skull Island was filmed, I mean, that's just kind of like, I think something's kind of brewing. Maybe they're trying to write a monster story together or something, you know?
Yeah.
You can't, okay, even if they are on vacation, there can't be about it, like, any doubt that they didn't talk their monsters at least once.
Of course.
Like, hey,
of course
I loved your Kong. Oh, hell, Gareth, I loved your Godzilla. You know what? Have you ever thought maybe we should make a movie together? There's just no doubt. You know, it has to be at least talked. It has to be mentioned. I don't think people are that stupid. I mean, if I'm jumping the gun, then I'm jumping the gun, and I'm just assuming like an asshole. But I just think this is just too. It's too like, you know, it's kind of like a poke. You know, it's like, I just think it's too sudden in a sense for them to be like, nothing's happening, but we're vacationing with each other.
Well, I mean, I don't see why they can't just be two dudes having a good time with their families vacationing in Vietnam.
That you know, and that could be too, but I don't know. I think there's something more to this picture here. I think something's happening on Skull Island.
And if anything, I think it would probably be them maybe just throwing ideas around right now to try to, like, you know, plot outline Kong Skull Island 2, because I don't think Gareth Edwards is going to come back to a Godzilla movie. I think he wants to take a break from the big stuff. He said that after Rogue One. He's like, you know what? I just did 2 big blockbuster movies, 2 giant name franchises. And, you know, that's my 1 and 2. And he was like, it caught him off guard because that's not the type of movies he's making. He was thrust into this fucking situation.
He said he wants to go back and start making more movies like his monsters.
Yeah, he wants to do smaller movies. And I would love to see Gareth Edwards make a very low budget horror movie. Seriously. A very just low key, go hole in the wall type of horror movie. He could just do what he wants to do.
He could totally do that.
Yeah. So I mean, if anything, they're just chilling, drinking some Mai Tais in Vietnam, and maybe kicking around a couple of ideas. But I don't think anything is set in stone. I don't think Legendary got them on the retainer like that. I really don't. Just me personally.
I know, but you know, of course, there's always that, but always anything's possible too.
Oh, absolutely, anything's possible, no doubt about that. But
the thing is, I'm just excited, thinking about it because just the idea of just more monsters. I would love to see it. And even then, even with Universal doing their MonsterVerse too.
Terrible. Don't even get me started on that.
What?
Don't even get me started there. Oh boy.
I'm excited for both MonsterVerses. So.
Well, listen, we're gonna wrap it up here. Definitely a good fucking show today. I had a good time. We got through a lot of stuff, and again, it was big news this month. We got a lot of good Godzilla stuff, and next month could be even better because Comic-Con's right around the corner. And we don't know what's going to happen. But I will tell you this. Next month on the podcast, we're definitely going to be talking about Pacific Rim 2. Because, like you said, there's just no way in hell they don't show that at Comic-Con. But anyway, G73, man, thanks for joining us today, man.
Oh, of course, dude. And just picture it now, Ray. We're sitting here, and we're watching the Comic-Con trailers, and all of a sudden, Legendary's like, we got something special for you guys. And it's just a black screen, and all we hear is King Ghidorah's chirp. And that's it. That's all we get. That's all we get.
And on that note, thank you guys for listening to us here on the Godzilla Block Party. I am G1, and we'll see you next month. Peace.